Now, I want to move on to get some more detail about the coronavirus and its impact on the share market and the economy. I'm joined from Holt Street, News Corp headquarters, by Ticky Fullerton, the Sky News business editor. Thanks for joining us, Ticky. Gee, the markets have been volatile over the past 48 hours, huge drops, but some sort of a recovery today?
Yeah, look, it was a most extraordinary day. The last 2 days taken together, we've got about $80 billion wiped off our stock exchange. And it really has been a time, I think, Chris, when the market has gone, whoa, OK, maybe we should be worried about this now, even though there is this suggestion from China in the data coming out that perhaps there is some level of containment of the disease. We've seen these pop-ups in places like Italy and Iran now, and so that has led to more concerns. But gosh, what an interesting day it was today, because the market took, headed downwards, bolted downwards, it went down 2.6%. But then, interestingly enough, a couple of things happened. Firstly, Donald Trump tweeted again, and he seemed to say, well, first of all, he said the coronavirus is very much under control in the US of A. He said we're in contact with everyone and all relevant countries, having just been in India, of course. He said the stock market is starting to look very good to me, right? Now, literally a couple of hours after that, did he know something? The US drug maker Moderna Inc, which is, a multi-billion-dollar company, but not that big in America. I hadn't heard much about it, but it announced it shipped its first batch of a rapidly developed coronavirus vaccine to US government researchers who are going to launch the first human test. So that literally gave the market here a lift. And then in Japan, we heard that Fujifilm Holdings spiked 8%. Moderna went up 18%. Fujifilm Holdings went up 8.8% after Japan's health minister said that Japan plans to recommend its Avigan drug to treat coronavirus. So there's this expectation that suddenly we've got some sort of vaccine to deal with this stuff. But again, you see how fickle the market is, because the suggestion that this vaccine could be in bulk on the market dealing with all this sort of stuff, I think is quite far-fetched.
Imagine how much money you could make if you just got a couple of minutes' notice on Donald Trump's tweets, whether they're going to be positive or negative. One guy's Twitter account demonstrated. Now, tell us on the Australian market, has it been across the board, or what sectors have been hit most severely?
So, look, I think we saw even the very big companies down today. I mean, BHP down 2.1%, Commonwealth Bank 1.4%, Wesfarmers 3.6%. Westpac 1.7%. The tech stocks were much more badly hit. The Australian dollar, interestingly, having hit a 10-year low yesterday. I mean, it really is right down there. It actually steadied a little bit. It's 66.17 US cents, but maybe that was almost a bit sort of an overshoot yesterday. That's why. But I think you're really finding now that when these sort of scares happen, you tend to get the Australian market under a little bit of pressure. We also saw, I think, steel inventories in China at record highs. There are one or two sort of slightly disturbing numbers coming through at the moment, which makes you think that really something has got to start happening in China. Otherwise, some of the companies that have been reporting and depend on our exports to China are really going to be, having to tighten the belt. And we've heard a little bit from companies like BHP saying, look, when we don't know yet, even Caltex, who I spoke to today, we don't know yet, but over the next sort of few weeks, we will know how serious this is for China. But in the meantime, I think we're all waiting day to day to see what happens with this disease.
Moving from the markets and business to the more broader impact on the economy and politics, big hit to the Australian tourism and education sector already. What do you think this does to the prospects of the first budget surplus in more than a decade?
Well, very interesting. You see, we had the Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, I think today saying that the coronavirus actually is going to have more of an impact on the Australian economy than the fires will have. People asked him directly about his budget, and he's He's not denying that there will be a surplus, but he's certainly saying, well, look, we'll just have to wait and see at budget time. I think that the rhetoric is moving there. We've got, of course, first Tuesday of the month, we've got an interest rate decision by the Reserve Bank next week. I think there's about a 7 or 8% chance that there will be a move. The market doesn't think there will be a move, but there's a greater expectation that there will be some sort of move downwards, I think, from the Reserve Bank. And certainly pressure for stimulus come budget time from the government.
Ticky, thanks so much.
Pleasure.